Welcome back to the Kaspa Silver YouTube channel. On today's video, we're going to be covering some news topics again for you guys. So let's go ahead and get straight into it by first looking at some Kaspa statistics. So first off, Kaspa is currently sitting at about 13.3 cents, and our current volume is sitting at $49 million in the last 24 hours. Our market cap is currently sitting at $3 billion, and that puts us at a market cap ranking at number 45. The current supply of Kaspa is currently sitting at 23 billion Kaspa, which is equivalent to about 80% mined. Our hash rate is currently at 189 petahashes, and our highest hash rate is now over 200, sitting at 209 petahashes. That's absolutely insane. The current reward is currently sitting at 123 Kaspa per block, with the next reward going to be dropping to 117 Kaspa per block, and that is going to be happening within the next 5 days. And currently, we also can see that the top addresses has changed, and this is because in the past week, KuCoin has had some issues with the US, and there was a massive exodus from KuCoin. And you could see now that the KuCoin wallet that used to sit at about 900 million Kaspa is now sitting at about 603 million Kaspa. They have lost a ton of Kaspa. Over 300 million has been taken off the exchange. A lot of people were a little bit scared and were trying to withdraw, and it was taking hours for Kaspa to leave the exchange. But everyone's funds are pretty much still safe on KuCoin. At least no one's funds have not been able to be withdrawn, but it has taken a lot longer than usual. And this is why it's always important to always take your crypto off exchanges, because you never know when there could be a massive exodus of users from an exchange, and this alone can cause longer wait times to move your money off. Or in the worst case scenario, the exchange may not even have enough liquidity to actually support all the withdrawals, and that will be in a very bad situation, because basically that means the exchange is going bankrupt. So you never want to be in that position. Always get your crypto off exchanges. But if we look for other KuCoin wallets, you could see that there's been a lot of Kaspa coming off of these wallets, and the other wallets that KuCoin has now are only sitting at about 513,000 Kaspa in this one, and about 51 million Kaspa in this one right here. And we still assume that this wallet right here does belong to KuCoin. So they still have over 680 million Kaspa, but they used to have like over a billion. So that was a good bit of Kaspa that did come off the exchange, which is always good. You should always be taking your crypto off exchanges. So let's go ahead and take a look at some more analytics here. And the inactive supply, currently in the last 3 months, there is about 55% of the whole entire supply has not moved in over 3 months. If we're looking at 6 months, that's at 35%. 1 year is currently sitting at 16%. It's been on a pretty huge rise here. It's been up 2% since February. And in the last 2 years, about 3.50% of the supply has never moved within Kaspa. If we're going ahead and taking a look at the power law here, you can see that Kaspa is currently sitting under the predictive fair price power law, but the predicted price for Kaspa is supposed to be around 18 cents right now, but it looks like we are below that fair price value. Now, remember, this is not 100% accurate. This is a power law that is just giving a fair price estimate of where Kaspa should be, but the range can always be very high or actually very low. But the point is, in the longer run, when we look back, it appears that it will follow this type of trend. And you could see in the past that there's times that it is way over, and there's times also that it is way under. So far we're not that under where it looks like it's going away from this trend line, and it is kind of following it. But if you want to know more about this, go ahead and check out my power law video for Kaspa, because only Bitcoin and Kaspa are the only cryptocurrencies to be following a power law, which is very unique in the crypto space. Next, we have Kaspa finally getting a foundation, and this foundation is going to be starting to implement smart contracts and also another development called Kasplex, which is going to be an inscription DEX. it looks like. So this is going to be very, very interesting. I talked more deep into this foundation in this video over here entitled Major Step Towards Adoption, Kaspa Ecosystem Foundation. And this does have a smart contract update basically. So if you have missed this video, go ahead and check it out. It's about 10 minutes long, but I go deep into the Kaspa Foundation that is now implemented with Kaspa. This is a really, really good step towards adoption. Kaspa Funding, if you don't know who Kaspa Funding is, you should check them out on Twitter. They are a decentralized way to help with Kaspa funding by having people donate their hash rate to a wallet, which then has that Kaspa and that wallet go to future proposals that need funding. But truly, we do have the foundation now, which is going to also help with funding. So it is good that we have multiple resources gathering fundings for future developments for Kaspa, but Kaspa Funding is actually behind trying to get more pairs for Kaspa, and they recently listed a Monero Kaspa pair on this exchange right here. Also, Kaspa was just recently listed on Swift X, and this is an Australian exchange, I believe, and this is always good that Kaspa continues to get more listings. Ice River just recently announced that there is a new product for mining coming out soon. It's called Next Gen Ice River Cast Miners coming soon with even greater performance. That's going to be very interesting to see the performance on this one, how much hash rate this is going to be doing, but we currently do not have an official release date of when the new product is coming out. Ice River has also recently started shipping out its KS0 Pros, the Kaspa edition, and I kid you not, these things look very, very nice. I mean, this thing just looks really, really cool, and I can't wait to get my hands on one of them, which I should be getting one soon, and I'll probably do an unboxing. But yeah, this thing just looks absolutely clean. Moving forward here, we have a Kaspa user that is a huge Kaspa miner, and he announced that he has 50 new Bitmain KS5s that are doing 21 terahashes, and our second facility capacity here for 500 more. So this big Kaspa miner is continuously buying machines, and this is just a testament of the confidence in the future this user has in Kaspa. Not only that, Kaspa has finally moved closer to ever to releasing Rust 1 block per second. And the thing that was holding it back was this KIP 9 that just came out. If you don't know what KIP stands for, it stands for Kaspa Improvement Proposal, and this is the 9th one. So right here, Kaspa Currency announced, "Dear Kaspa community, we are proud to present KIP 9, and in the Discord, Michael Sutton gave a little bit more details about KIP 9 here. He says, "Dear Kaspa community, we are proud to present KIP 9 extended mass formula for mitigating state bloat. This is no ordinary KIP. It encapsulates months of research effort, culminating in interesting theoretical result that begets a new strategy for regulating the growth of the UTXO set, with arguably better trade-offs than current approaches. The KIP provides a Kaspa-centric specification for applying this method, as well as an informal overview of the theory. However, all the mathematics it relies on was rigorously proved and verified, a rigorous analysis as well as a more general discussion, explaining that this method can be generalized beyond the UTX model. Will be posted as a research paper in the following weeks. The motivation for KIP 9 is the September dust attack that forced a release of a quick and dirty patch. The solution applied in the patch tried to reduce the harm to quality of service by a set of rules that were tailored for the current adoption level of Kaspa, but would grow more intrusive as adoption grows. Hence, we realized that a well-planned long-term solution must be included in the Rust stable candidate, even if this means delaying its release. The ideas in the KIP required a hard fork in order to be enforced, but can be implemented without a fork as a peer-to-peer policy, becoming effective as long as miners agree to follow it, just like the dust patch. Hence, condition on KIP acceptance. This P2P policy will replace the current dust patch in the upcoming Rusty Kaspa node and will become a consensus rule in the 10 blocks per second hard fork." Adjustment of the P2P rules is something that should be done transparently, especially when the change relies on far from obvious theoretical ideas. So it's important that the KIP and the code are available for public scrutiny before it is implemented in the stable version. For those who want to join the discussion of KIP 9, we have created a designated thread in the Kaspa Research forum, and it's this link right here. I'll also have all the links to everything I showed on this video down in the description. Going to this next post here, this same big Kaspa miner here has announced that he's turned a portion of his Kas farm into Rust already, and he says so far so good. And Coder stuff also confirmed over here that about 30% of the hash rate is already on Rust when it comes to pools. It says the switch to Rustling on the Kas mainnet is happening, and the first target is 30% of the hash rate on Rust. To achieve that, Coder stuff, our community dev, is working with Kaspa mining pools to upgrade their nodes to Rust. What mining pool will you think switch first? And Coder says there are at least 3 pools that are fully using the Rust node now since February actually, and there's some more coming up. So the goal is to get to 30%. There's already 3 pools that have fully switched to Rust, but a lot of people are confused about how Rust is working. Rust is already been done, and what needs to be done now is all the miners or pools need to upgrade their nodes to Rust, and this would be Rust with 1 blocks per second. This is not a hard fork. In the future, the 10 blocks per second will be coming on Rust, but we first have to make sure everyone upgrades to the new Rust node, and this is why it's been taking so long, and it's because of this KIP 9 that needed to be finished. A lot of people don't realize that the intensive research and development that the Kaspa devs go through to make sure that everything is flawlessly done so that there are no bugs. If you don't remember what happened in the past, Kaspa had a dust attack, and this dust attack caused the hash rate to drop pretty significantly, which means that the security dropped with Kaspa very fast because of a bug in the Kaspa network. The developers decided to implement a fix for this bug, but they needed to make a long-term fix. And this KIP 9 is that long-term fix that is finally finished, and it's very important that they upload it to the world and show everyone how it actually works on GitHub so that other people who want to verify the work could do so before we fully implement this in a hard fork. It's very important that everything is done very slowly with testnet 11 and Rust, because we want to make sure when we move to the next network, there's not some bug that just interrupts the network and now we all don't benefit from a bug like that happening, causing the hash rate to drop, causing miners to not be able to mine Kaspa anymore. That will really hurt the network. So people just need to be patient and understand that the development behind Kaspa is not some kind of rushed thing. This development is not just to kind of pump the price. This is literally to make a system that works for the long term. And if these developments have to be delayed, you should really not be getting upset about that, because it's ensuring that your investment into Kaspa, your money in Kaspa, is actually safe, and you don't have to encounter any bugs with holding your money on Kaspa. So don't worry, just continuously be patient with Kaspa, but things are moving forward. This KIP 9 being done was a huge step into moving forward with Rust now. And you could see that pools are now moving over to Rust, and eventually everyone will be using Rust nodes. And then eventually after that, we'll do a hard fork to 10 blocks per second, but it is still probably a few months away, but I would expect it to come out at least in the summertime of this year. So I hope you guys did enjoy that video. And before we go, if you have not gotten a set of Tantrum cards, I highly consider you guys check this out. I do have a full-on tutorial video for Tantrum to show you how these cards work. But these cards allow you to protect your cryptocurrency offline and away from exchanges. And if you use my code KaspaSilver at the checkout, you can get 10% off. And I do receive a commission for this, and I greatly appreciate if you do use my code, because it does help support the channel. But this is a very good way to secure your funds and not keep them on exchanges. So thank you again for watching. Please leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new around here. And as always, don't be average, be different.